Welcome back to another Thumbnails video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at War for Cybertron. Yes, Sideswipe and Walmart exclusive Deepcover are the exact same figure. Plus the other one is another of the same figure, but I'm going to show that one off kind of sort of at the end of these two. However, these guys are the exact same mold. The only difference is this is the Walmart Netflix exclusive Deepcover with the battle scuffing. Yeah, Sideswipe has some of the scuffing too, but this is the specific Walmart exclusive version. I'm going to put Deepcover in the back. They have the exact same weapon that mounts on the shoulder. They come apart in the exact same way. This end and this end are both blast compatible, and so isn't the two ports on the actual blaster are blast effect compatible. And these two weapons can be either mounted this tab here and the two slots on either shoulder. But I find that if you put it here, the peg gets behind his head and ends up becoming a massive issue with articulation. So I like to keep it on his right side. And the other one, I kind of sort of turn it around so it's facing the other way. So the handle's on the other side. So Sideswipe gets the bigger cannon piece in the front and the smaller one in the back. And Deepcover gets, so to be the bigger one in the back and the smaller one in front for him. But their articulation is exactly the same. So I'm just going to take this off for this. He does have a very expressionate ball joint, where he's got good side-to-side wiggle waggle, back, forward, rotation of 360, which is awesome. Sorry for the traffic sounds in the back. It is a bit warm in the place today, but not warm enough to have the AC on, and outside's quite nice. So having the windows open is great. Universal shoulders of 360, in and out, like so. Bicep swivel. 90-degree bend at the elbow. No wrist articulation except transformation inward. Does have a crotch rotation instead of a waist swivel, due to how he transforms. I thought he didn't have one. Leg articulation, forward, 90 degrees. Back, 90 degrees. Outward. Full splits and then some. He has a knee bend, an upper thigh single mushroom swivel. He has no foot down articulation, a little bit up, but because the panel, it's not going to really do you much good to do that. But he doesn't have any sort of wiggle waggle or anything like that for the foot, but he does have ankle pivot, which is quite nice. He can't do the full Van Damme because the pivot can only get you out to about there with his feet. But yeah, I mean, their deco is pretty much replace the blue with red and just change around the silver slab and then add some burn effects. And here's the back on both of them. Yeah, most of this stuff's going to be more visible in car mode. However, no paint on his taillights, but however, Deepcover, being an exclusive, did get taillight paint. This mold has been used several times in transformation and in design, which is nice. Okay, so taking off the weapons, now we're going to pivot up his waist, which is really the mushroom peg for his waist joint. Gonna bring this all the way up, leave his face forward. You can just leave that up for now. What we're gonna do is bring his arms out, bring out his little door winglets here. We're going to bend the elbows on both arms and bend in the wrists. Bring in the shoulder parts and bring down the shoulders so his fists tuck into his belly. Then what we're going to do is we're going to open up the shin doors, push out the back panels to the legs, fold in the feet, close, nope, don't close, clip the legs together, rotate it at the waist, Combiner Wars fold over the legs, click it into place there, close the doors up to the shins, close the doors that actually have a tab and slot in the arm, fold that in, bring this, cover the eyes, visible chin syndrome, and there you have it. We'll do this one really quickly as well, and there you go. You can have weapon storage here, there's ports. Cybertronian vehicle locomotives are absolutely awesome. Blue is absolutely gorgeous, and I absolutely love this colorization. You have the vents here on the back. This is kind of more of a Lamborghini Countach if it were on a Cybertron type style. Side detail, top detail. Yes, I'm a little late to the game, but I've had these guys for a little while. I haven't had a chance to really do much. And again, no paint in the back to speak of for lights or anything. But overall, these guys are exceptionally designed. I absolutely love it. There are people that do not like it. I mean, he's lacking the black paint here, but it doesn't hurt him at all. It's got the tail lights, which I do like on a figure that is all one color that's not red, to actually have his tail lights picked out. And this design is absolutely beautiful. Again, brothers are beautiful in design. Dare say I'd use the word delicious, but a lot of people have commented, you use delicious too much. Oh well, that's my look at these two, Sideswipe and Deepcover. Get back to 1985, we're going to be taking a look at their mold brother, Gigawatt.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I managed to somehow get my hands on this beautiful 35-year anniversary for Back to the Future and Transformers crossover 2020. I got my hands on probably about a week after it was announced. You have the 35-year anniversary up at top here. You have old school box art transformation. You have some schematic-y things in the back of the box, which is beautiful. You have the flame lines in front of his feet from him being out of the way. He's doing the Doc Brown, adjust the eyes, look at his arm, watch type dealio. There's aspects of Marty McFly and Doc Brown in this character. He's very young Doc Brown looking in the face with his glasses when he was like wearing that one headset thing. But however, he does have a little bit of Marty in him for that sort of sass and pizzazz in his other modes. On the sides, you've got the bar thingy, the gun, which is actually in black in this picture. It is not in black. Retro tech specs. Yes, I've got the text decoder in there, but you can clearly see the blue line because they really didn't do it all that well. And his strength, his intelligence, his speed, his firepower, his time capability, energy maybe? And then the time. Hey. And then his little burble. You want to pause and read that, go right ahead. Enough of that. The side of the thing, like it's coming out of the truck. Interesting, because that's the door panel you actually get into. You can go this way, but it's much easier because they actually, instead of molding a flap that opens this way on this side's cool because you open it without tearing the box. Fold this down as if it's the trailer door to get everything out, which is nice. It's a neat little touch. They actually added in a different way to get into the box. The bottom of the box, we already saw the back of the box, so that's enough of the box. I'm not throwing this. This is Gigawatt in absolute pristine. You couldn't ask for a better Hasbro Takara figure. Texture, which feels kind of like dry brushed paint. Actual DeLorean style lining on the vehicle. The rims are here. They're pinned. All the wiring. The front end is lacking the DeLorean symbol in the front. He does have this gated grill thing going on in the windshield, but that's because of robot parts behind things. Wiring, the paint, the top of the vehicle done with beautiful, beautiful coloring and paint in the back. Painted taillights, the out of time California license plate, which is really cool about this. Couple of really cool things. One, we're going to get into his gun. His gun, kind of like overly designed generic weapon kind of dealio, but on the bottom it has a port right there. The gun goes in here, clips in, and now looks part of like the radiator and more of the tech greeble of the car mode, which is awesome. Now, with that being said, car stuff, you actually come under here and open up both doors, do the DeLorean gull wing, classic gull wing doors. DeLorean, perfect. It is sculpted to have that little window that actually rolls down while this glass extra piece stays in place. Again, detail they did not have to add, but detail they did nonetheless. Now, you do have Back to the Future 1 from 1985. To get home from 1955, he has his lightning rod. Love it. Now, they look great together. Doc Brown comes back. Car looks like this. Doc Brown tells Marty, where we're going, we don't need roads. So, with that being said, fold down the wheels. Now there's a hinge here and a hinge here. You literally don't use this hinge, because that's for robot mode. You use this hinge that's just behind the wheel itself to roll in, and then you fold in the other ones. And now, with an aid of a flight stand, plug it into his unfortunate spot. You now have the flight mode for the end of Back to the Future 1 and into Back to the Future 2. This is hitting so many damn buttons. It's not even funny. I love this. The transformation is about 80% the same. This is hitting every single bit of nostalgia, with 80 to 87% of the transformation to be identical with this mold. That being said, no, it's not bad at all in any which way, shape, and form. This is actually pretty cool. Now, so I don't lose things, we're going to take the Mr. Fusion off. We're going to take the cannon off. We're going to put the wheels back where they were. Trying to shoot this before I go to work and the lawnmowers are making it very difficult. Now, we're going to start off with gold wing doors. Gull wing doors, not gold wing, gull wing doors. Up. We're going to come back here, just like the brothers, open up the leg panels, bring the legs down and around. They will separate because they tend to just do on their own. Bring them down. He does have a little bit of loose hips, but I can fix that with my ball joint repair pen that I've spoke about before. Come back here, flick out the legs, or the feet, flick out the feet, close up the leg panels. I like to tilt out the wheels so they're kind of like filling in that hole that's in the front. But that's the front of the legs all done, or I should say the legs and waist all done. Keep the gull wing wings back. Hold on. Now to try to get through this because the lawnmower is just being annoying now. Now we got this doofy looking dude right now. What we're going to do is they added an extra panel right here. Bring it down so you don't break these little pegs for a little detail. Bring out his arms. Bring out his fists. Straighten out the elbows. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use both. You don't want to bend this hinge that we did for the hover mode. You want to bend at the other hinge and roll it all the way into the actual chest all the way around, and then engage that transformation hinge for the hover mode. Roll it all the way in until they click into place. Then you're going to bring down the chest piece, stopping about halfway and rotating, I forget which way, yes, rotating this panel in front of his face and past his chest, which can be a little scary because it bumps into stuff. Bringing down the chest, clicking making sure the wheels stay in place, clicking that tab into the slot of the mushroom peg again, there. Then you're going to have a slot here. There you go. There's that slot there. There's a tab there. Clip that into place to further lock the chest into place. And there you go. You have Gigawatt in robot mode. We're going to take quickly look at some details. You have some interesting door panel details on the inside. You have his hood chest and his legs. You have knee pads that are literally the flex capacitor, the legs down here, and then we're going to take a look at the chest flex capacitor. Flex his chest capacitor. Anyways, you have really nice attention to detail on the actual chest. The dates and everything are beautiful. Absolutely awesome. The use of the blah gray plastic that I don't like and the blah gray paint that's got a metallic sheen to it is really nice. And a lot of the details from robot mode and vehicle mode are shared, but the transformation is just slightly different enough to make them feel different than these guys. That face sculpt is quite nice. Let's get into articulation. It's exactly the same as the brothers. He's got a little bit of sassiness back to back, like Marty McFly can do, up and down, 360 rotation, nothing bumps in. You have 360 on the shoulders, universal in and out, bicep swivel, 90-degree bend at the elbow, no word for transformation. Waist swivel, forward, cheat it a little bit, get a little bit more of a boot going on. Outward motion, backward motion. A little hindrance of the knee bend of less than 90, but then again, he doesn't really need it. No up and down really on the toes. Ankle pivot, pretty much the same. Not really much of it, but he can still do the splits for most of the part. He has his gun, so he can pew pew bang bang. Yes, it's blast effects compatible. He has his lightning rod hook arm that you can peg on the outside of his arms to deal electrical damage. Oh, and the gull wing doors you can flapper anywhere you want instead of tucking them in. However, I kind of try to leave them back. You can splay them slightly inward, which is fine. You can also, they mold it in, weapon storage in the doors. So you can peg in the hook and leave it back there if you want. It's a thing. Now as for Mr. Fusion, you can plug Mr. Fusion with very loose connection to the back, which kind of looks stupid and gets in the way of his hands, because you see how it sits a little lower than the back of the gun? And if you look at his arm is raised here, so that bumps in and falls off all the time. And this thing is tiny. It's like dollhouse levels Mr. Fusion on the counter, Barbie house size. So I like to leave it on the top of the gun. Absolutely awesome. And this being a very niche 35th anniversary anyway for Transformers. That is my look at Deepcover, Sideswipe, and bonus Gigawatt. Thank you for sticking along this far. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun doodads. Love y'all. Love your faces. Be safe, be happy, be healthy, be kind to each other, and love your faces. Peace.